That's what set him off. Bad breath. This is a prequel to the first God of War game. This is God of War Chains of Olympus on the PlayStation Portable. There's our hero Kratos peacefully settling his differences with enemies. Damn, and that was just for breathing in his face. Kratos needs to seek out some anger management classes, but if he did, this game would not be nearly as fun. God of War Chains of Olympus is a must-have for PSP owners. This is easily one of the best games I've played on the PSP. This and Gran Turismo PSP. They're like top-shelf PS2 games that you just carry around with you.
Thank you, my lord.
Not only does Kratos kick some ass, but he likes some ass on the side. Laughing at my own jokes. That's when I know the joke sucks, so I'm going to leave it in. I'm recording this on a Friday. But what really gets me about the sex scenes in the God of War games is that we're so desensitized to violence that we're like stabbing people in the eyeballs in this game and chopping their heads off. And then this sex scene comes on and you're like, whoa, hey, sex in a video game. Hey now, that's rad. It complements the style of the game really well because the whole God of War series has a really cool 70s Clash of the Titans kind of feel to it. If you look at any ancient mythology, it's all sex and violence, and they've just carried that over to this game so well.
I have given enough. Now take these nightmares from my head.
It is not for you to say when your servitude ends.
This is one of those games that has everything going for it, which is why the God of War series is so popular. It has amazing gameplay, fun characters, elaborate wild environments. It really puts you into a fantasy world. There's not many games like this that are ever produced. This is just one of those series you need to pick up and play if you haven't. And trust me, this is actually the first God of War game I played. I have them all. I started with this one, which makes sense because this is actually the first in the series. The original God of War came out in 2005, but I was busy playing Time Splitters that entire year. It's just one of those things. This one is a prequel to the first God of War. That's pretty much what I'd like to do to these squirrels that break into my attic from time to time. I'm playing this on the PSP Series 3000, controlling Kratos with the analog stick, which works very well. While much of the fighting can be done with button mashing and easy-to-memorize combos, you'll have a lot of end-boss battles where you've got these fancy quick-time events. Be prepared with your buttons memorized. Know which ones to hit quickly, the square, the triangle, the X or the 0, or the top L and R button. You must know your buttons to slaughter enemies.
Atlas has been freed from
And
the
pleasure,
pits of
ladies.
Tartarus, and has taken my brother Helios from his rightful place in the sky.
What does Atlas want with the sun god?
Obviously, this game looks and sounds great, but one of the things that I really like about it is how well they use the environment. There's lots of puzzles in the God of War games, and in this game, and they're not the kind of puzzles that are irritating and frustrating that just get in the way of gameplay. You know, there's a lot of games that are fighting games, and then it just stops and you're stuck with a stupid puzzle. In this game, the puzzles actually seem to fit. And it's a rare game in that it gets better the farther you play in the game. I mean, it starts off pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it just keeps getting better and better and better. And you figure out what to do in these environments and what things move and what you can move. And it's just a really cool game. It's a tough game to review because I've pretty much covered everything. It's just awesome on all fronts. Even the music is terrific. You can buy God of War these days as a greatest hits for the PSP, or you can just download it. It's a very affordable game for how good it is. All the God of War games are extremely affordable nowadays. As I'm recording this, I'm waiting for the new one to come out, God of War 3. In the meantime, I'll have to play this one again or the other ones on the PS2, or just watch Clash of the Titans and drink a beer later, which is, I think, the direction I'm heading right now. The one thing this game is missing is the awesome mechanical owl. As you play through the game, which is fairly substantial, you become better at playing it and Kratos becomes more powerful. It's a very well-balanced video game, God of War Chains of Olympus, on the PSP. It's an exclusive. Sadly, it's not on the Vectrex.